Hello? 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 Oh no. Hello? 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 Wait, this is not right. No, this is not right. Um, one sec. My voice is back. No, 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 this is not my voice. I still need to tweak it a little bit. I needed to go through my audio software. Right now it's not. It's just coming straight from the mic. Sound quality sounds better. Hey. All right, one sec. I'll be right back. Hello. No. Okay, I'll figure it out later. Oh my god. Mm, why does it need to go through the app? Um, it has to, because that's what it's supposed to do. Right now, you're hearing me through the desktop audio. Okay. That also means when I have the be right back screen, you can still hear me. What is going on? It was working last week. It was. You can hear me peeing from the other room. Yeah, you know, my pees are very loud. It's okay if I have to stop the stream. Stopping the stream doesn't do anything. Doing it live, okay? I don't know why it's not working. Uh, boop, boop, boop. Desktop audio. Uh, you'll be able to hear me making fun of you guys when I'm on a break. All right, whatever. So it sounds better, I guess. Okay. Well, hold on. What if I stop? Hold on. Hello. Okay. Whatever. Okay, I think it is going through the audio software actually. It's going through the audio software. I think it's just not showing it on my streaming software. Okay. Okay, so you guys were not hearing me straight from the microphone. That was me. This is still me through the software. Okay. Wait, hold on. Let me put on the be right back screen and see if you can hear me, okay? Hello. Oh no, you can still hear me. Okay. Yup. Why does it do that? Oh well. I'll fix it later. Anyways. How you guys doing? Now that we've gone through all of that. You know what's happening these days? You know what's happening? I can't read online articles anymore. I can't read anything online anymore. It all reads like it reads that it was written by an AI. No, seriously. I can't. I'm reading it and I'm like, in the back of my mind, all the time, I'm like, is this written by an AI? Did you really write this? You seem like an AI, okay? Everything. I can't trust anything anymore. You didn't get to hear me say my hellos? Okay. I did say my hellos. It was very low. Oh. Losh. What's up, Losh? The first one today. You beat Wing Chun. Hey, Peepzilla. You are here. You are not late. True. You are not late today. Bigfoot. How you doing? Hey, Wing Chun. Hope. How you doing, Hope? Hey, Casey. How you doing, Katie? How you doing? Sunny side up. I'm glad you're here. Rude noise. What kind of rude noise are you? Sunny side up. What is up? All right. Hey, Nikki. How's it going? You're all AI. How can I tell? I don't think I can tell. But everything just reads like an AI. I don't know. Everything sounds so formal, okay? And it doesn't sound formal. It's a little bit more casual. I'm like, oh, so they put it through a casual filter. They told the AI to say things more casually. I can't read. Your girlfriend works as a chat customer service. Every day people tell her she's a robot. Oh yeah, chat these days? No. They're all robots. You have to make sure. You need to ask them questions, okay? You gotta ask him, are you a robot? Okay, anyways. So I bought a new phone. You know, these days, when you don't just pay for a new phone, okay? Because when you buy a phone, you gotta buy all sorts of accessories along with it. And they're necessary, okay? They're not like things that you want to have. They're things that you must have, like a screen protector, right? or like a case. There are people who walk around without a case on their phone, and I have no. What is wrong with them? They're living life on the edge. Okay. I have no. I don't get it. When I get a new phone, I'm very careful. When I get a new phone, I'm like, okay, slowly put it down, okay, before I put it in the case. Now these people, they're like, I got a new phone. Oh, they're crazy. They're walking around. Juggling it. I don't understand. Yeah, your phone cannot be naked. True. Yeah, you need to put in the screen protector, okay? Even though they say that phones these days, they have that Gorilla Glass, and then you've seen those videos, right, where they scratch it with a razor and nothing happens. No, things do pile up, like scratches do happen. It's happened to me, okay? I went for a while, for like a few months without a screen protector once. And I did get a little scratch on my freaking screen. So now I always have a screen protector. You need a ring holder. You guys know what that is? It's that thing on the back of your phone. That's the ring. You can pull it out and you can hold it just with one finger. It's really cool. Before I had that, like, I didn't know what I was missing. Have you guys ever like you're in bed, it's late at night, kind of sleepy, but you want to watch a little YouTube video, maybe a little infamy video, and you're just watching it for a little bit, but then you're kind of sleepy, right? So you're holding it, and then it just drops on your face, like puh. Yeah, that happened to me all the time. I would like puh. Okay, so now you can't go to sleep. But you can't hold the phone at the same time. Yeah, but now that I have that ring holder, it's so cool. It hardly ever happens. Always a infamy video. Oh yeah, Nikki. You use your phone without a case for a few days? Very nerve-wracking, true. That's dangerous living. No, I always try to have a case. You drop your phone on your face 10 or 15 times a night. You gotta get a holder, okay? It's the best thing in the world. And I had to buy this thing, okay? I have a car, all right? It's a nice car. It's a really cool car, okay? I've had it for a while. It's a Toyota Prius. I kind of like it. However, it doesn't have Bluetooth. It only has Bluetooth for calls. So you can have like make phone calls with it. But who does that anymore, right? However, it doesn't. You can't connect it to your phone, like to listen to the sounds on your phone. It's only calls. So like you can't listen to music. Okay. Yeah, but my old phone has a audio jack. Okay, and my car has an audio jack. So I just use that to listen to music or listen to a video while I'm driving. Yeah. However, these days, phones, they don't have that anymore. They don't. They don't have an audio jack. What the fuck? So I had to buy, I had a choice. You could buy, now they sell those things that they plug into your headphone jack in your car, and it'll be like an FM receiver. So you can tune in to the radio and listen to your phone. Yeah, or they have just a thing with Bluetooth. Yeah, that connects to your audio jack. in the car. So I had to buy that too. A lot of things. Get a new car. Okay. Okay. How can a car have no audio jack and no Bluetooth? No, my car has an audio jack. Just no Bluetooth. Yeah. So I bought this thing where you plug it into your audio jack in your car. Okay. But it's also a Bluetooth receiver. Yeah. So it connects to the Bluetooth on my phone. So I bought that. Okay. Yeah. None of this has come yet, by the way. Everything's coming next week. So next week I should have a new phone and everything else. His car is from the 1980s. No. Okay. It's 2011. It was from, I think so. Yeah. So like my car, it connects to, it has Bluetooth for calls. Yeah. I can make calls with it. Okay. And I don't need to plug in anything. But for everything else, all the sounds on your phone, you can't do it. Da, 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 da. All right. Since we started late, I will not do the provinces, the Japanese provinces quiz. Guess what I have today? Guess what I have? I'm kind of excited, guys. Kablam! Mochi ice cream with matcha green tea. Matcha green tea ice cream. Mochi. Now, here's the thing though. Okay. I'm excited. I'm also kind of worried when I bought this. When I bought this, I forgot and I put it in the refrigerator instead of the freezer. Okay. And I left it in the refrigerator for like 3 weeks. So I hope it's okay. Now watch out for any mold or any weird smells. Okay. However, no. But I put it in the freezer when I noticed. Okay. So it's been in the freezer for like a week. So it should be good, right? Hope I don't die. Ooh, look. Check it out. Check it out. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Okay. I think it fell off. It's kind of falling apart. Oh God. Oh God, it fell apart. All right, hold on. I can do this. I can do this. I gotta push it out, but make it stay whole. Oh, it leaked out. Ew. Oh, the matcha leaked out, but it's frozen, kind of. Oh God. Ah. Hmm. 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 Hold on. Not bad. No weird smells. Hmm. That was really good. Really good. Yeah. The matcha cream leaked out, okay? But otherwise, it's not bad. All right. Give me a second. I'm going to put it back in the freezer. It is matcha. And it is mochi. Overall, 8 out of 10. A solid 8. Not bad. All right. Be right back. Nom, 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 nom. Yum. Malik, you're listening to this while doing something else. You had to ask forgiveness from God, okay? I'll allow it. I'll allow it, okay? Just for today. Just for you. Did I eat another one? No, I did not. Yeah. It was pretty good. 8 out of 10. Not bad. All right, guys. You ready? Are you ready? What happened last week? Well, let me tell you. So last week, remember, we're at the Shaolin Temple, okay? There's a big old fight, and Mu Rongfu is like beating up Duan Yu. Duan Yu's dad tries to rescue him, but Mu Rongfu just beats up his dad, like injures his dad. And Duan Yu gets mad, and he starts using his 6 Meridians Divine Sword technique, like he's like an expert, right? And it's a ranged technique. So Mu Rongfu, he can't get close, right? He has to like hide behind a tree, while Duan Yu, the freaking sharpshooter, is like lighting him up. Pew, 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 pew. Mu Rongfu is super embarrassed that he has to hide behind a tree, and he's getting his ass beat by this like no-named person. Well, not no-name, but like this person who's like not really good at fighting. But he can't do anything, okay? He just can't get close. Wang Yuyan, she begs for Duan Yu to stop. So he does, right? He listens to her. But Mu Rongfu he feels even worse because like this girl had to beg on his behalf. So Mu Rongfu, he takes this opportunity. He's super mad. He takes this opportunity to attack anyways. And he's about to kill Duan Yu, but then Xiao Feng jumps in, okay, and he tosses Mu Rongfu away like an old plushie. Now Mu Rongfu, he couldn't handle the embarrassment, and he tries to commit suicide. And right at that moment, an old dude dressed as a monk in gray, he arrives out of nowhere and he stops him. And then a second dude dressed in black, also like a monk's thing, arrives. Now these two dudes, they seem to know each other, and we get some backstory. So we find out that the first dude is Mu Rongbo, who is the father of Mu Rongfu. Now Mu Rongfu doesn't know this. He doesn't know who this person is. Right? He doesn't know. He thinks it's like I can either be like his dad or his grandfather. He doesn't know. So we find out that Mu Rongbo is still alive. All right, and he faked his death this entire time. He's been living next to the Shaolin Temple this whole time, just sneaking in and copying martial arts manuals. Okay, the 72 skills of Shaolin. He's been copying those books. And then while he was doing that, he met another guy, which is the second guy, who was doing the same thing. Okay, so there were these two guys, these two martial arts experts who were sneaking into Shaolin, and they were copying Shaolin martial arts. Okay, so these two, they became friends, Then we also find out that Murangbo also taught Jiu Mo Zi some Shaolin skills, and then they made a pact. So Jiu Mo Zi, the pact is that Jiu Mo Zi would find the Six Meridians Divine Sword manual from the Duan family, and that in return, Murangbo would give him, Jiu Mo Zi, the rest of the Shaolin manuals that he copied. And that's happened last week. How's that? Dum 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 dum. All right. Oh, why is it dark? What's going on? No, wait, hold on. There we go. Remember, I'm using an I'm using a new computer. So if my voice is clipping, let me know. If there's anything wrong, let me know. All right, we were here, right? He retreated to the side. He went there. Okay, so Murong Fu. Here. All right. Chapter 42, Part 2. Okay, now I can't hear it. What the fuck? Hold on. Oh no. Okay. Okay, now you guys can hear the desktop, but I can't hear it now. What's going on? This is not cool. I have to fix this. But later. All right. So, unfortunately, I can't hear the sound effects. I just have to hope that they're the right ones. I cannot hear myself talking. No. That would be unacceptable. Unacceptable. I can't listen to myself talk. I told you, right? I can't listen to my videos. I'm okay with it while recording, okay, because that's necessary. I need to listen to myself talk while recording. But afterwards, I can't listen to my videos. Are you guys ready? Without further ado, Wang Yuyan recounted that Mu Rongfu almost committed suicide moments ago. She was still extremely frightened. She held onto his sleeves, her tears overflowing. Mu Rongfu was annoyed. However, ultimately, it was out of her good intentions. It was not appropriate for him to brush her aside. The gray-robed monk and black-robed man appeared in succession, while they sat down to meditate under the tree. Suju and Ding Chunqiu were still engaged in the fierce battle. Currently, the crowd turned their attention to these two men. Chrysanthemum's sword suddenly recalled something. She walked towards the 18 Khitan warriors and said, "My owner is fighting. He has to drink some wine to increase his strength." A Khitan warrior said, "We have a lot of wine here, miss. Please make use of it." He lifted two big leather bags. Chrysanthemum's sword smiled and said, "Many thanks. My owner does not have high capacity for liquor. One bag is sufficient." She took one bag of alcohol. Hey, is this true? Why is this a thing? He needs to drink some wine to increase his strength. She took one bag of alcohol and pulled out the wood stopper. She walked slowly towards Suju and Ding Chunqiu and shouted, "Owner, you need wine to plant the life-death talisman on old freak Xing Xiu." She exerted strength and revolved the bag horizontally. The alcohol in the bag became a stream of wine arrows and shot towards Suju. Plum, orchid, and bamboo swords clapped their hands and shouted, "Sister Chrysanthemum, wonderful!" Suddenly, they heard a sweet, delicate female voice singing. Oh no. "Fragrant and fresh colored dew, cloud and rain in vain at Mount Wushan. I am young Gui Fei, good wine, slaves intoxicated by the sight of Argar Wood Pavilion." Suju fought Ding Chunqiu for a long time. He had no idea how to subdue him. As he heard his subordinate from Vulture Palace shout out, "Life-Death Talisman," the wine arrow from Chrysanthemum's sword arrived. At once he lifted his hand and grabbed. He caught a handful. Suddenly he saw 8 people appearing from the mountain. They were Zither Craze Kangguangling, Chess Devil Fang Bailing, Bookworm Goldu, Painting Fanatic Wu Lingjun, Divine Physician Xue Muhua, Marvelous Craftsman Feng Asan, Flower Zealot Xi Qing Feng, Opera Fan, Li Kuilei, the 8 friends of Hanggu. You guys like that? I should sing in Chinese opera style. How the hell am I supposed to do that? Fragrant and fresh, color too. Sorry. I'm so sorry. The 8 of them saw Suju and Ding Chunqiu exchange fists and kicks freely, fighting to their heart's content. At once they cheered. Martial Uncle Sect Leader displays his brilliant abilities today. Quickly, kill Ding Chunqiu. Avenge our martial grandfather and master. Currently, Chrysanthemum's sword was still shooting wine towards Suju. Her martial arts is mediocre. Unexpectedly, a small portion sprayed towards Ding Chunqiu. The old freak of Qingqiu was engaged in a fierce battle with Suju. They fought for over an hour. However, his opponent seemed to have inexhaustible, wonderful moves. His movement was restricted, and he could not utilize his arsenal of sorcery. Unexpectedly, a stream of wine arrived. He had a sudden inspiration. He brushed his left sleeve. The wine dispersed and became a rain of wine and splashed towards Suju. Powerful internal energy was flowing across Suju's entire body. Tens of thousands of wine droplets arrived. None of them hit his clothes, as they were deflected by his energy. Suddenly he heard 2 "ah, ah" cries. Chrysanthemum's sword turned over and collapsed. Oh no, why? Why would you hurt them? When Ding Chunqiu dispersed the wine and turned it into droplets, every single droplet contained deadly poison. Chrysanthemum's sword was standing nearby. The poison rain landed on her body, and she collapsed immediately. Duan Yu was standing by the side. He saw Wang Yuyan grabbing onto Mu Rongfu's sleeve. He felt very dull. He saw Chrysanthemum's sword being hit by the poison rain and collapsing. He knew she was a subordinate of his second brother. Thus, he rushed forward to carry Chrysanthemum's sword and retreat. Suju was concerned about Chrysanthemum's sword. He was frightened and worried, but he didn't know how to save her. He heard Xue Muhua shout out, "Martial uncle, the poison is extremely violent. Quickly, subdue the old thief and force him to provide the antidote for treatment." Suju shouted, "Correct!" He waved his right palm and attacked Ding Chunqiu. He secretly channeled his internal energy to his left palm and reversed the flow of his pure energy of northern darkness. Soon after, the wine in his left palm turned into 7 to 8 pieces of cold ice. So. He smacked his right palm 3 times. Ding Chunqiu felt cold wind assault his body. He was startled. The hard and young internal energy of this little ball thief. How come it changed? He hurriedly gathered strength to ward it off. Suddenly, he felt a slight cooling sensation on his Chu Pen acupoint, akin to being hit by snowflake. Immediately after, the Tianchu acupoint on his underbelly, Futu acupoint on his thigh, Tianchan acupoint on his upper arm. He felt cooling sensations on these 3 regions. Oh, he's hit by the life-death talisman. Good job. Ding Chunqiu increased his palm force to resist. Suddenly, his Tianju acupoint on his nape, Shundao acupoint on his back, Shiji acupoint on his lower back. He felt cooling sensation on these 3 regions as well. Ding Chunqiu was surprised. No matter how yin frost his palm's strength, it definitely cannot bend around and attack my back. Moreover, the cooling sensations are all on acupoints. I wonder what kind of strange sorcery that little bald thief is using. I have to be careful. Both of his sleeves brushed outward. The sleeve concealing his leg, he kicked violently at Suju. Unexpectedly, when his right leg kicked halfway, his Futu acupoint and Jushu acupoint became itchy at the same time. He could not help but cry out, "Ayo!" His right toe was already touching Suju's monk robe, but his 2 vital acupoints became itchy at the same time. His right leg involuntarily withdrew. After crying out, "Ayo!" he cried out, "Ayo! Ayo!" 2 more times. Alright, so, yep, he is definitely hit by the life-death talisman. Remember, the talisman makes you, really itchy, okay? It's just the worst kind of torture. Ding Chunqiu's disciples praised loudly. Divine Elder Xingqiu possesses great magical power. He only needs to wave his sleeve slightly, and the little girl will collapse under his might. With just a single step, he can make heaven fall and earth rend. With just a wave, he can cover the moon and sun. Divine Elder of Xingqiu sways his sleeves, spreading the truth. All of you heretics, ox, ghost, and snake spirits, each and every one will die a tragic death. Their praise was intermixed with cries of "Ayo! Ayo!" It was really not compatible. His disciples, who were more alert and shrewd already, shut their mouth in shock. However, a huge majority still shouted out and praised loudly. In an instant, Ding Chunqiu felt his Chi Pun, Tianshu, Futu, Qian, 7 acupoints became extremely itchy and unbearable. It was akin to having thousands and tens of thousands of louse gnawing at the same time. The ice made from wine contained Suju's internal energy. Cold ice entered the body and dissolved immediately. However, the internal energy remained inside the acupoints and meridian channels. Ding Chunqiu was confused. He groped his chest repeatedly and consumed 7 to 8 antidotes immediately. He circulated his energy 5 to 6 times. However, the itch in his acupoints became even more serious. If it were other people, they would have rolled around on the floor a long time ago. However, Ding Chunchu possessed astonishing divine skills. He persistently endured and persevered. He was staggering about, akin to being intoxicated by wine. His face turned red and white repeatedly, his pair of hands waving wildly, his behavior terrifying. Since the 7 life-death talismans were made from strong alcohol, they were different from normal ice. When the Xingqiu disciples saw their master in such a sorry state, each and every one of them quieted down. However, some still shouted out stubbornly, "Divine Elder of Xingqiu is using his great golden immortal dance skill. Little monk will soon see its ferocious power." What's up, Laura? Yes, you missed my weird singing. When Divine Elder of Xingqiu shouts, "Ayo!" a fraction of little monk's soul is frightened off. However, this shouting was merely a stubborn attempt to maintain glamour. The shouting was not loud or clear at all. Li Kuei-lei sang loudly. Oh no. Chinese opera. 5 blossom horse, 1,000-pound gold. Bring them out to exchange for good wine. We will share, I don't know, thousands worries together. Haha, I am Li Bai, 8 immortals drinking wine. Number 1 is immortal of poem, Li Bai. Number 2 is divine elder of Xingqiu, Ding Chunqiu. The crowd saw Ding Chunqiu's drunken state. He really cut a sorry figure. When they heard Li Kuei-lei's speech, all of them laughed loudly. It is a infamy school. Divine singing skill. Exactly. After some time, Ding Chunqiu finally could not endure it anymore. He tugged his beard randomly. Strand by strand, his beautiful beard fluttered off in the wind. Oh no, he tore his beard. Immediately after, he ripped apart his clothes and revealed his snow-white skin. He was already an old man. However, his body was still strong like a youngster. He clawed himself everywhere, and blood started to gush out. He exerted strength and tore forcefully and shouted repeatedly, "I am dying of itch! I am dying of itch!" After a while, his left knee bent down. His shouting became even more wretched. Suju felt some regret. Although this person deserves to be punished, but unexpectedly, his suffering is so severe. If I had known earlier, I would have planted at most 1 or 2 life-death talismans. When the crowd saw this martial arts expert with childlike countenance, white hair, exuding immortal aura, unexpectedly he turned into a demon in an instant. His cry akin to wild beasts. They could not help but be overwhelmed with shock. Even Li Kuei-lei was left speechless. However, the gray-robed monk and black-robed man still meditated quietly under the tree, as if they did not see or hear anything. I kind of sounded like Axl Rose. I don't know about that. Hey, that is an insult to Axl Rose. Abbot Chuanzi said, "Excellent, excellent. Suju, remove the suffering for this Siju." Suju replied, "Yes, I sincerely comply with Abbot's decree." Xuanji suddenly said, "Oh, wait, martial brother Abbot, Ding Chunqiu committed countless evils. Senior brother Xuannan and Xuan Tong died by his hands. How can we let him off so lightly?" Kang Guangling said, "Martial uncle sect leader, you are the leader of our sect. Why the need to listen to an outsider? Our martial grandfather and my master, this great hatred, How can you not avenge them? Suju had no idea how to deal with the situation. Xue Muhua said, Martial uncle, the priority now is to make him give the antidote. Suju nodded his head and said, correct. Lady Plumsword, give him half a pill to suppress the itch. Plumsword replied, yes. She withdrew. Hey, what happened to Chrysanthemum Sword? I hope she's okay. She withdrew a small green bottle from her bosom and took out a pea-sized pill. However, seeing Ding Chunchu's violent and crazy appearance, she didn't dare to go near. What's Axel going to do? Hopefully not release another album. His voice is like really bad now, right? Axl Rose. Yeah. I think he didn't know how to sing right. So like all of that shouting in his career, I think it fucked up his throat or his vocals. Suju took the pill, he split it in half and said, Mr. Ding, open your mouth. I will feed you this pill to suppress the itch. Ding Chunchu opened his mouth widely. Suju flicked his finger lightly and delivered the pill into his throat. The pill could not take effect immediately, thus Ding Chunchu still rolled about on the floor. After a while, the strange itch finally subsided a little, and he stood up. Ding Chunchu was still conscious and alert. He knew he could not rebel or resist anymore. Oh, damn. He's quelled. Who's the master now? Thus, he did not wait for Suju's instruction and took out an antidote and handed it over to Xue Muhua obediently. He said, The red-colored is for external application. The white-colored is for consumption. He shouted and cried out for quite a long time. Thus his voice became hoarse and inaudible. Xue Muhua knew he didn't dare to stir up trouble anymore. Thus he acted accordingly and applied the antidote on Chrysanthemum's sword. Plumsword said brightly, Old freak of Xingxiu, this half-pill can stop the itch for 3 days. After 3 days, the strange itch will flare up again, and at that time, whether our owner will bestow this miracle medicine will depend on how obedient you are. Ding Chunchu was trembling from head to toe. He remained silent. At once, several hundred Xingxiu disciples rushed forward and knelt down in front of Suju. Oh, he's gonna get another, like a few hundred followers. How big is the Xingxiu sect? They requested earnestly, Owner of Vulture Palace is a hero without equal. We humbly submit to you. Our devotion unswerving. We will put in utmost effort for Owner. This gathering of martial artists, Owner will surely become the leader. Owner only needs to give the order. We will risk our lives and limbs to go through water and tread on fire. Man, they switch sides really fast. In an attempt to make themselves more devoted, many pointed at Ding Chunchu and cursed endlessly. He is a candlelight who dares to fight with the moon and sun. He is concealing wicked intentions, utterly sinister. Some beseeched Suju to execute Ding Chunchu swiftly, damn, to rid the world of an evil person. Gongs and drums rang out. The crowd of disciples began to sing. Oh God. Owner of Vulture Palace, virtue fitting heaven and earth, power shaking the entire world by force, he is without equal from then and now. Other than changing Divine Elder of Xingxiu to Owner of Vulture Palace, the melody and lyrics were exactly the same as those used to praise Ding Chunchu previously. Although Suju was simple and unsophisticated, he could not help but feel somewhat smug and elated when hearing the praise. While they're throwing him under the bus, they are absolutely. They did it immediately. Orchid Sword said loudly, You despicable vermin! Those mushy tunes used to praise old freak of Xingxiu. Shameless speech! How dare you use it to praise our owner? Extremely rude! The Xingxiu disciples immediately became terrified. Some said, "Oh, yes, yes, a lowly person will come up with a completely new version, a guarantee to satisfy Fairy's sister." Some sang out loudly, "Four fairy sisters, beautiful and elegant. Their beauty surpassed Shishi, transcend imperial consort." After they that was really bad. After they kowtowed to Suju, the Xingqiu disciples voluntarily stood behind the island masters and cave masters, each of them extremely proud and smug. They disregarded the crowd of heroes, the Beggars Clan members, and the Shaolin monks. Sun Tzu said, "Suju, you set up your own school. From now on, your conduct has to be chivalrous and righteous. Restrain and educate your disciples. Don't let them break the law or commit crimes, bringing disaster and harm to people. Remember to accumulate virtue, do more good deeds. Whether you become a monk or not, it is still the same." Suju choked with emotions and said, "Yes, Suju sincerely complies with Abbott's instruction." Sun Tzu said, "I cannot abolish your expulsion. However, you are exempted from the punishment of rods." Oh, yay. Suddenly, someone laughed loudly and said, "Ha ha ha ha! I thought Shaolin valued monastic discipline, enforced the law strictly, but it seems they also curry favor with those in power. Owner of Vulture Palace, virtue fitting heaven and earth. However, power shaking the entire world by force. He is without equal from then and now." The crowd turned toward the person. It was the Grand Tutor of Tubo, Jimozu. Sun Tzu changed countenance and said, "The Grand Tutor is righteous in your reproach. This old monk admits his mistake. Martial brother Sun Tzu, arrange for the punishment rod." Oh, what? Son of a bitch. Why? Why? Swenji said, "Yes." He turned around and said, "Serve the punishment rod." He turned to Suju and said, "Suju, presently you are still a Shaolin disciple. Lie down and receive the rod." No. Suju bowed and said, "Yes." He knelt down and saluted Sun Tzu and Swenji and said, "Disciple Suju violated temple regulations. I respectfully accept abbot and head monk of discipline courtyard's rod punishment." Xingqiu disciples suddenly made a huge din. "You Shaolin monks, how dare you touch old senior's precious body? If you touch a single strand of hair on old senior, we will fight until death with you. We will sacrifice our lives to protect him, die a glorious death. We are loyal and devoted. Our flesh and blood is dedicated to protecting our owner." Grandma Yu said loudly, "The praise our owner? How dare you demons and ghosts use it? Quickly, shut your dog mouth." When the Xingqiu disciples heard her shout, they became silent immediately. They didn't even dare to breathe loudly. The enforcement monks from Discipline Courtyard heard Swenji shout, "Use the rod." At once, a monk removed Suju's robe, revealing the skin on his back. The other monk lifted the abiding disciple rod. Suju pondered, "I am receiving punishment from the rod because I did not abide by monastic discipline. For every rod I receive, my sin will be reduced by a fraction. If I use internal energy to resist, my body won't experience any pain. Then this rod will be wasted." Oh no, he's not going to use anything to stop it. He's going to put down his shields, guys. Suddenly, a sharp female voice shouted out, Wait, wait! You! What is that on your back? The crowd looked at Suju's back. They saw 9 incense scars burnt neatly on his waist. Currently, the custom of burning incense on one's head when taking the monk's oath had yet to become popular. China's Buddhism was subdivided into 8 schools and 11 factions. There were also small groups and minor sects, each of their customs and practices different from each other. Quite a number of them advocated ascetic practice. Disciples had to burn incense on their head or burn their fingers to show their determination to follow Buddha. Shaolin does not require disciples to burn incense on their head. However, they also never forbade disciples from doing so. The incense scar on Suju's back was as large as copper coins. Evidently, they were burnt during infancy. As his body grew up, the scars also enlarged. Currently, the scar was not entirely circular in shape. This was before Krillin's time. Lol. Do you guys know what the incense scars are? Buddhist monk incense scar? Is it called? Oh god, bus. Bus. This is a bus. This is a bus. You know, sometimes like you have to go through like a million of these. Okay, good. Yeah, it's like these things. So apparently Suju has it on his back and they're gigantic. So they must have been made when he was a little baby. Moxa, yeah, Moxa. A middle-aged woman suddenly rushed out from the crowd. She was wearing cyan gown, 3 blood scars on her left and right cheek. It was precisely one of the 4 great evils, no evil left undone, Ye Niang. She pounced forward, her pair of hands pushing away the 2 enforcement monks. She grabbed Suju's trousers, wanting to pull it off. So she's the one who keeps stealing people's babies. Suju stood up from the shock. He floated several chi backward and said, "You, what are you doing?" Niang was trembling from head to toe. She shouted out, My son! Oh my god! Dum dum dum. I wish I had that sound effect. He's her son! She spread both arms to embrace Suju. Suju dodged her advance, and Niang hugged empty air. Everyone pondered. This woman is mad? Niang tried to hug Suju several times. However, Suju dodged all her attempts skillfully. Niang acted wildly and shouted out, My son! Why don't you recognize your mother? Suju shivered with fear akin to an electric shock. His voice trembled. You are my mother? Niang said, My son. After giving birth to you, I burnt 9 incense scars on your waist and both sides of your buttocks. You have 9 incense scars on both sides of your butts, correct? Suju had a huge shock. Indeed, there were 9 incense scars on both sides of his butts. Okay, that's a pretty big reveal, no? Oh my god. Story has more twists than your average daytime soap. A street organ would be perfect right now. All right. We can do it. Oh, fuck. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. The problem is, I can't hear it. I have no idea what it sounds like. So hopefully. What is wrong with my computer? Alright. Okay, so Suju found his mother, and she found her son. Remember, the reason she steals people's babies is because she misses her baby, right? Suju had a huge shock. Indeed, there were 9 incense scars on both sides of his butt. It was there since childhood. He never inquired its origins. He was too shy to discuss it with others. Sometimes when he saw it while bathing, he assumed he was fated to follow Buddha. Oh. He was born with it, naturally, thus his resolute devotion to Buddhist doctrine. Oh. Is that why? Interesting. When he heard Yi Erniang's speech, it was akin to hearing thunderbolt from midair. His voice trembled. Yes, yes. There were 9 incense scars on both sides of my butt. Mother, did you burn it on me? Yi Erniang burst into tears and cried out, Yes, yes. How would I know if I did not burn it onto you? I finally found my son. My biological son. While crying, she stretched her hands to stroke Suju's cheek. Suju did not dodge. He allowed her to embrace him. He had no father or mother. He thought he was an orphan adopted by Shaolin. The incense scar on his butt, only his most intimate companion at Shaolin was aware of it. Unexpectedly, Yi Erniang was also aware of it. How could it be fake? For the first time in his life, he finally got to experience warm motherly love. His tears overflowed. He cried, Mother, Mother, you are my mother. The whole affair turned out too abruptly. Everyone was greatly surprised. However, seeing both of them hugging and sobbing together, their grief yet happiness, one of them showing deep affection towards her child, the other admired earnestly. Quite a number of people felt deep sorrow. Yi Erniang said, My child, you are 24 years old. For the past 24 years, I think about you day and night. I was so angry that other people had the son, but my own son was stolen by some wretched thief. I stole other people's sons to carry them, but other people's son, how can they be better than my own? The divine croc burst into loud laughter and said, Ha 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 ha! Third sister, you always steal other people's healthy and adorable child for your own amusement. When you had enough fun, you randomly deliver it to some other family. Make it difficult for the parents to find their child. As it turns out, your own son was stolen by someone else. Whenever Yue Lauer asks you the reason, you refuse to answer. Very good. Fantastic, little chap Suju. Your mother is my sworn sister. Quickly, come here and call me second Uncle Yue. His generation ranking was higher than this owner of Vulture Palace, who possessed superior martial arts. His joy was no laughing matter when he thought of it. Yun Zhonghe shook his head and said, Wrong. Suju Zi is the elder brother of your master. You have to call him martial uncle. I am the sworn brother of his mother. I am 2 generations higher than you. Quickly, call me martial grand uncle. The divine croc was stumped for words. He spat and cursed. Damn your grandma! Old man refuses to call. Yi Erniang released Suju's neck. She held onto his shoulder, looking left and right, her joy boundless. She turned her head towards Sunji and said, He is my son. I cannot permit you to hit him. Immediately after, she said to Suju, Which wretched swindler stole my son and caused us mother and son to separate for 24 years? Child, child, even if we have to travel till the ends of the earth, we have to find this wretched swindler, hack him into 1,000 pieces, turn him into mincemeat. Your mother cannot beat him, but my child possesses outstanding martial arts. He can avenge his mother. Oh, so Losh says, in the first edition, Ye Erniang killed the babies after a few days, but the author changed it to giving them away to a random family in the last edition. Oh, okay. So in this edition, she's not as bad. All of a sudden, the black-robed man who was sitting motionless under the tree stood up. He said unhurriedly, your son, he was stolen or snatched away by someone. The 6 blood scars on your face, where did they come from? Ye Erniang's expression turned grave. She shrieked, Who are you? How did you know? The black-robed man said, Don't tell me you cannot recognize me. Ye Erniang shrieked even louder. Ah! It is you! It is you! She pounced forward and rushed to a spot 10 feet away. Suddenly, she stood still, her fingers flexing, gnashing her teeth with rage. Her anger had reached the extreme, but she didn't dare to move closer. The black-robed man said, Correct. I snatched your son. The 6 blood scars on your face, I scratched them. Oh. Oh, whoa. Okay. A lot of reveals here. What's going on? Ye Erniang shouted, Why? Why did you snatch my son? I am a total stranger to you. I have no hatred or enmity with you. You really made me suffer for the past 24 years. I suffered endless torment, day and night. For what purpose? Why? Why? The black-robed man pointed at Suju and said, Who is the child's father? Ye Erniang's entire body was shaking. She said, I cannot say. Suju was extremely agitated. He rushed beside Ye Erniang and said, Mother, tell me, who is my father? Ye Erniang shook her head repeatedly and said, I cannot say. The black-robed man said slowly, Ye Erniang, originally you were a proper lady, gentle and beautiful, virtuous, dignified, and chaste. But when you were 18 years old, you were seduced by a reputable martial arts expert. You lost your chastity to him and gave birth to this child, correct? Oh god, is it Duan Chengchun? It can't be this guy, right? Maybe this guy loves her before. It's Duan Chengchun, isn't it? Duan Yu's his father. Damn, he gets around. Okay, the chat is saying the same thing. Ye Erniang remain. You know what would be good to do right now? Take a break. I'm just kidding. I want to know what happens too. Ye Erniang remained motionless. After a long time, she finally nodded her head and said, Yes, but he did not seduce me. I am the one who seduced him. The black-robed man said, This man only cared about his own reputation and future. He did not care about the plight of a young unwed mother of a child. How miserable her fate. Ye Erniang said, No, he cared. He gave me a lot of gold and silver. He arranged and planned for my livelihood for the rest of my life. The black-robed man said, Then why did he let you drift around Jianghu in solitude? Ye Erniang said, I cannot marry him. How can he take me as his wife? He is a good person. He had always treated me well. I do not wish to implicate him. He is a good person. From her speech, evidently she was still full of longing for this lover who abandoned her. The love and affection from olden days, they were not affected by her misery. They did not fade away with time at all. Everyone pondered. Yu Erniang is a well-known evildoer. However, she is still deeply devoted to her lover. Who is this man? As if evil people cannot know love, guys. Evil people love too. Duan Yu, Ron Xingju, Hua Hegen, Fan Hua, Ba Tianqi, when they heard her mention her lascivious sin from the past, they could not help but glance furtively at Duan Zhengchun. Evidently, they thought the identity of Yu Erniang's lover, his temperament, his behavior, his age, all of them were similar to him. Someone recalled, previously the four great evils visited Dali. Most likely, they were searching for Prince Zhinan to settle this debt. Even Duan Zhengchun himself was suspicious. I met quite a number of ladies. Don't tell me she is included as well. He doesn't even know! How come I don't recall it at all? If I implicated her, even if I lose all my reputation in front of the heroes, I definitely cannot treat her unfairly. But, how come I cannot remember anything at all? Okay, maybe it's not him then. Maybe it's not him. Maybe it's not him. Okay, I don't think it's him. Thank God. The black-robed man said brightly, The child's father is right here. Why don't you point him out? Who is it? Yu Erniang was startled. She said, No, I cannot say. The black-robed man said, Why did you burn a total of 27 incense scars on your child's waist and buttocks? It's the abbot! You guys, that's my bet. Ah, it is! Oh no! Oh no. It's the Shaolin abbot. Okay, that's my guess, okay? Yu Erniang covered her face and said, I don't know. I beg you, don't ask me anymore. The black-robed man's voice was still dull and flat. It seemed as if he was unconcerned. He continued, When your child was born, you want him to be a monk? Yu Erniang said, No. The black-robed man said, Why? Then why did you burn these incense scars on him? Yu Erniang said, I don't know. The black-robed man said brightly, You refuse to say, but I know, because this child's father is a Buddhist disciple. He is a reputable, eminent monk. Yu Erniang groaned out. She could not support herself anymore and fainted. What the fuck? At once, everyone made a huge clamor. Based on Yu Erniang's reaction, it seemed the black-robed man was correct. As it turned out, her secret lover is a Buddhist monk. Moreover, he was a reputable, eminent monk. Everyone whispered to one another, discussing the identity of the monk. Suju helped Yu Erniang up and said, Mother, wake up! After a long time, Yu Erniang woke up and said softly, Child, quickly help me down the mountain. This man is a devil. He knows everything. I don't want to see him. This hatred. There is no need to avenge anymore. Suju said, Yes, mother. Let us go now. The black-robed man said, Wait. I have yet to finish. You don't want revenge, but I want revenge. Yu Erniang, why did I snatch your child? Do you know the reason? Because someone snatched away my child. My family ruined, husband and wife, father and son. We cannot reunite. I did it for revenge. Yuanyang said, Someone snatched your child? You did it for revenge? The black-robed man said, Correct. I snatched your child and put him inside Shaolin's vegetable garden. Let Shaolin monks raise him up, teach him martial arts. My own child, someone snatched him away. He was adopted, and a Shaolin monk taught him martial arts. You want to see my true identity? He did not wait for Yuanyang to reply and took off his face curtain. The crowd cried out in alarm. His face was squarish, with big ears, beard overgrown, his appearance extremely formidable. He was around 60 years of age. Xiao Feng was pleasantly surprised. He rushed forward and knelt down, his voice trembling. You are my father. The person laughed heartily and said, Ha 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 ha. Good child, good child. I am your father. We, father and son, have the same figure and appearance. Anyone can tell straight away that I am your father. He stretched out his hands and pulled open his front jacket, revealing a tattooed wolf's head. He raised his left hand and helped Xiao Feng to stand up. Bum, bum, bum. Oh my god. So many reveals in this chapter. Jesus Christ. Xiao Feng pulled open his front jacket as well, revealing a green tattooed wolf's head, mouth wide open and baring its fangs. Both of them walked shoulder to shoulder. Suddenly, they looked up into the sky simultaneously and whistled. The sound was like a violent gale and anger cry. It transmitted to a distant place. Even the mountain valley echoed. When the crowd of heroes heard it, they could not help but shiver with fright. The 18 riders from Yan Yun pulled out their blade and cried out with them together. Although there were only 20 people, but they exuded might and power. As if they were a magnificent army of thousands of men and horses. Dun dun dun. Xiao Feng retrieved a tarpaulin package from his bosom and opened it, revealing a patched white cloth. He spread it out. It was an imprint of the writings on the stone wall, given to him by monk Ji Guang. The characters written on it were all Khitan text. The bearded old man pointed at the last few words. He smiled and said, The final words of Xiao Yuanshan. The final words of Xiao Yuanshan. Ha 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 ha. Child, that day in my grieving state, I jumped off the cliff to commit suicide. Who would have expected? My life did not come to an end. I fell onto a branch of a large tree. Unexpectedly, I survived. My desire to die already dissipated. A new desire for revenge arose. That day at Yanmin Pass, the heroes from Central Plains did not bother to inquire the truth. They killed your mother, who did not know any martial arts. Child, tell me, should we avenge this hatred? All right. Practically a telenovela at this point. My God, guys. So many reveals. I need to take a break. I gotta take a break. All right, guys. Should take a break. I'll be right back. 5 minutes. I'm sorry. 5 minutes. All right, we are back. I didn't hear any of that music. Can I say Xiao Yuan Shen 5 times very fast now? Xiao Yuan Shen, Xiao Yuan Shen, Xiao Yuan Shen, Xiao Yuan Shen, Xiao Yuan Shen. Yep, Losh is still picking the music. Alright, guys. Whew. Let's continue. This chapter just does not end, does it? I'm feeling more things are going to happen. You didn't hear any of my peeing? Oh, okay. That's good. Maybe next time. Xiao Feng said, I cannot live under the same sky with the enemies of my parents. Xiao Yuanshan said, those who killed your mother, more than half of them, were killed by me at this scene. The former chief of the Beggars clan, Wang Jiantong, contracted an illness and died. He got off lightly. But the leading big culprit, he is still healthy and alive until now. Child, tell me, what should we do? Xiao Feng said unhurriedly, this person was deceived by a rumor. It was not his original intention. He already confessed and repented. Moreover, father, you are alive and well today. I'm extremely heartened. Let us just write off this hatred with one stroke. Xiao Yuanshen gave a long sigh and shouted, how can I write it off with one stroke? His gaze electrifying. One by one, he scanned the faces of the crowd of heroes. When the crowd locked gaze with him, they felt as if they were in danger, although they had absolutely no relations with the matter at Yanmen Pass. But seeing Xiao Yuanshen's expression, nobody dared to move or even give out the slightest bit of sound for fear of inviting trouble. Xiao Yuanshen said, child, that day your mother and I carried you to visit your maternal grandmother. Unexpectedly, when we reached Yanmen Pass, 10 martial artists suddenly jumped out and killed our entourage. Great Song Haven Deep. Wait, what? Great Song has deep hatred towards Khitan. It was not strange for them to kill each other. However, these warriors have been waiting in ambush. Obviously, it was premeditated. Child, do you know the underlying reason? Xiao Feng said, they obtained news and mistakenly believed that a Khitan warrior was coming to Shaolin to seize martial arts manuals. After that, he would return to Liao Nation and prepare to invade Great Song. Thus, they carried out the ambush and killed my mother. Xiao Yuanshen laughed bitterly and said, I did not have any intention to seize martial arts manuals from Shaolin. They accuse me wrongly. Fine, fine. Oh, he didn't know it. He didn't know that was why. Xiao Yuanshan will carry it through since it started. Since they accuse me, I will simply do it for them to see. For the past 30 years, Xiao Yuanshan has been hiding in Shaolin. I looked through all their martial... Oh, he didn't know. Never mind. I looked through all their martial arts manuals till my heart's content. Senior monks from Shaolin, if you are capable, you can come here and kill Xiao Yuanshan. If not, the martial arts of Shaolin will surely spread across Great Liao. It will be too late if you try to attempt another ambush at Yanmen Pass. Oh, he's going to do it. What's going to happen? When the crowd of Shaolin monks heard it, they were overwhelmed with shock, mostly like his speech was not false. If the martial arts of Shaolin spread into Liao Nation, it would be like a tiger that has grown wings. What should they do? Along with the rest of the crowd of heroes, they pondered, no matter what, we definitely cannot let this man leave the mountain alive. Xiao Feng said, Father, at that time the leading big brother killed my mother. It was due to misunderstanding. although he was impulsive, but he did not deliberately commit evil. However, there is another evil person. He killed my foster parents, the Chiao couple. My reputation became tainted. Father, do you know who is the person? Xiao Yuanshen laughed and said, "Ha ha ha ha! Child, I killed the Chiao couple." I knew it. I knew it. Xiao Feng had a huge shock. His voice trembled. Father, you killed them. Why? Why? Xiao Yuanshen said, "You are my biological child. Husband, wife, and son, the whole family united together. Can you imagine the happiness? But these southern warriors treat us Khitans as lower than pigs and dogs. They kill us for no reason. They stole my son and gave him to someone else, become some other people's son. The Chiao couple pretended to be your parents, since they took away my family bliss and they never told you the truth. They deserved to die." How else was I going to get custody? Oh no, what is Xiao Feng gonna do? What's he gonna do? Xiao Feng's heart turned sour. He said, "My foster parents treated me extremely well. Both of them are very good people. That being the case, the one who set fire on the Dan household, murdered Grandma Tan, Chao Qiansun, etc. It was correct. I did it. Although Master Qi Guang died, I still struck his Taiyang acupoint to vent my anger. These people knew the leading big brother who killed your mother, but they refused to say. Each and every one of them shielded him. Don't tell me they don't deserve to die." Xiao Feng was speechless. He pondered. The great evil person I have been tracking down all along. It turns out to be my father. What should I say? He said slowly, "Shaolin Master Chuan Ku instructed me in martial arts. 10 years of effort. My achievements today is entirely due to revered teachers' training." He lowered his head, his eyes tearful. Xiao Yuanshan said, "These southern martial artists are devious and treacherous. How can they be good? I killed Xuan Ku with a single palm." Damn. The crowd of Shaolin monks chanted in unison, "Buddha is merciful, Buddha is merciful." Their voices full of grief and indignation, although they had yet to step forward to challenge Xiao Yuanshen, but their chanting already contained deep sorrow and anguish. It already embodied their determination. They would not let the matter rest. Xiao Yuanshan continued, "Among the people who killed my beloved wife and snatched away my only son, there is the chief of the Beggars clan. There were also some experts from Shaolin. They only hope to cover this body's... They only hope to cover this bloody sin forever. Turn my son into a Han Chinese. Make my son take the enemy as master, succeed the enemy, and become the chief of the Beggars clan. Child, after I land a palm on Xuan Ku, I hid myself nearby. Soon after, I saw you paying respect to that old, bald thief. Xuan Ku saw the resemblance in us father and son. He assumed it was you who hit him. Even that young Buddhist monk could not differentiate between us father and son. Child, we Khitan endured injustice and their bullying. Do you think it is enough?" Ah, that's true. That's why Xuan Ku thought it was Xiao Feng who killed him. Xiao Feng finally understood why, at that time, when Master Xuan Ku saw him, unexpectedly he was so startled. Why that young Buddhist monk adamantly accused him of killing Xuan Ku. Who would have expected the true killer to be someone who bared strong resemblance to him, linked closely by flesh and blood? Xiao Feng said, "Since father killed these people, then there is no difference from me killing them. It seems I did not bear this bad reputation in vain. The chief evil who led the ambush at Yanmen Pass, the one who destroyed my family. I have investigated everything clearly. If I kill him with a single palm, won't he get off too lightly? Yuerniang, wait! He saw Yuerniang holding onto Shuju step by step. They were walking further away. At once he shouted out to stop her. Who helped to deliver your child? If you refuse to say, then I will say it. I hid beside Shaolin for so many years. I entered the temple every night. Which matter can escape my eyes? Both of you met at Ji Yun Cave. He asked Grandma Qiao to deliver your child. Various kinds of affairs. Need I narrate everything in full details? Yuerniang turned around. She rushed several steps towards Xiao Yuanshun, knelt down and said, Old hero Xiao, you are humane and righteous. Please be magnanimous. Spare me. Spare him. My child and your son are sworn brothers. He had a great reputation in the martial arts fraternity, his status and position. He is so old already. If you want to kill, then please kill me only. Please don't trouble him. Previously, the crowd heard Xiao Yuanshun mention Shuju's father was a reputable, eminent monk. Now Yuerniang said his reputation was great, his status and position extremely high. Putting the descriptions together, could it be this person is an eminent monk from Shaolin? Everyone could not help but gaze towards the white-haired old monks from Shaolin. Suddenly, Abbot Swensu said, Excellent, excellent. Since there is a cause, then there must be a resolution. Suju, come over here. Suju walked towards the Abbot Swensu and knelt down. Swensu scrutinized him for a long time. He stretched out his hands to caress Suju's head gently, his face tender and loving. He said, You have been in the temple for 24 years. Unexpectedly, I did not know you are my son. Bum, bum, bum. Oh my God. When he finished speaking, the crowd of monks and heroes made a huge clamor. Everyone had looks of being flabbergasted, appalled, disgust, anger, fear, pity, all sorts of expression. It was really hard to describe. Abbot Swensu was a person of high moral standing and reputation. Everyone admired and respected him very much. Who would have imagined him to commit such act? The disturbance went on for half the day before coming to a rest. Swensu said unhurriedly, his voice still serene and calm like normal. Senior Xiao Shiju, you were separated from your son for 30 years. You cannot meet him. However, you knew his martial arts is excellent, his reputation soaring. He is a first-class hero. In your heart, you must certainly be comforted. I get to see my son every day. However, I thought that he was taken away by some ruffian, his life and death unknown. I worried day and night. Yuerniang cried, If you didn't say it, won't it be better? What to do now? Swensu said tenderly, Yuerniang, I already committed the evil deed. It is too late to go back. It is useless to cover up the truth. All these years you have suffered much. Yuerniang wept. No, you suffered in silence, unable to voice it out. That is true suffering. Swensu shook his head slowly. He said, Senior Xiao Shiju, the battle at Yanmen Pass, this old monk made a huge mistake. My brothers forgave me for this matter, but one by one they lost their lives. Previously, this old monk tied his hands and voluntarily sought death. I intend to let your esteemed son kill me to avenge his mother. However, your esteemed son is benevolent. He refused to kill this old monk and let me live until today. Today, this old monk voluntarily seeks death again. It is truly long overdue. Oh no. Suddenly, he raised his voice and said, Murongbo, Senior Murong Siju, at that time you spread false information. You claimed a Khitan warrior was carrying out a large-scale attack to seize Shaolin's martial art manuals. Eventually, this led to all kinds of sin. Have you ever felt a twinge of guilt and regret? Everyone heard him say the name Murongbo. They were startled. The crowd knew that Gentleman Murong's father had a single name, Bo. However, he died a long time ago. How did Sun Tzu suddenly call out his name? Could it be the person who spread false information was Murongbo? Everyone followed the direction of his gaze. However, his pair of eyes were focused on the gray-robed monk sitting under the tree. The gray-robed monk gave a long laugh. He stood up and said, "Ha ha 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 ha! Great Master Abbot, your eyes..." Wait, he's a little older, right? "Great Master Abbot, your eyesight is terrific. Unexpectedly, you recognized me." He pulled away his face curtain, revealing his lively and refined features and long, drooping white eyebrows. Murong Fu was pleasantly surprised. He shouted out, "Father, you are still alive?" Countless questions bubbled forth. Why did father fake his death? Why did he conceal it from even his own son? Everyone is like finding their father today, aren't they? Sun Tzu said, "Senior Murong Siju, I've known you for many years. I respect your character deeply. That day, you informed me of this matter. This old monk firmly believed you without any doubt. Later on, I accidentally injured a good person. From then on, this old monk never saw you again. Afterwards, I received news of your death due to illness. This old monk felt deep sorrow and lament. I assumed you and I are the same. We mistakenly believe someone else's false information, ultimately leading to numerous sins. Thus, you died early due to guilt. Who would have expected?" His deep sigh embodied boundless regret and condemnation. Xiao Yuanshen and Xiao Feng looked at each other. Only until now, both father and son finally got hold of the identity of the person who spread false news, the person who instigated the matter and created the disaster. Unexpectedly, it was Murongbo. Xiao Feng pondered. The disaster at Mianmen Pass. Although Abbot Sun Tzu is the leader, but he is the Shaolin Abbot. He was duty-bound to protect Great Song and the martial arts manuals of his temple. Later on, when he discovered the mistake, he did his utmost to atone for it. The true evil person, it is Murongbo, not Sun Tzu. When Murong Fu heard Sun Tzu's speech, he understood immediately. Father spread the false news. It was to incite a big battle between Song and Liao, eventually leading to a war between Song and Liao. My great Yan could take advantage of from within. After the event, Sun Tzu will inevitably seek my father out to question him. Since father could not help himself, his status as a great hero, a towering figure, he could not admit the matter and destroy his lifelong illustrious reputation. He knew Abbot Sun Tzu's temperament. If he died, then Sun Tzu will never disclose the truth behind the matter and damage his reputation after death. Immediately after, he had another thought. After father's death, Murong family's reputation was unaffected, I could still continue the great undertaking to restore Great Yen. If not, the heroes of the Central Plains will surely treat the Murong family as the enemy. It was difficult to even survive, let alone gather forces to restore the Yan nation. Thus, at that time, he definitely had to fake death. It seemed that father is afraid of my youthful vigor. It would inevitably give the game away. Thus, he concealed his death from me. Other than mother, I am afraid even elder brother Deng and the others were kept in the dark as well. Xuanzu said unhurriedly, Senior Murong Shiju, today this old monk heard you advising your esteemed son. Unexpectedly, your Gusu Murong family is the descendant of monarchs, hatching a grand scheme. The true purpose of spreading false news, it became apparent right away. However, your grand scheme, ultimately, it is difficult to achieve. Aren't you causing the death of many innocent lives in vain? Murangbo said coldly, Man propose, but heaven dispose. Oh, he made a little rhyme there. Xuanzu's expression was compassionate. He said, My junior martial brother, Xuanbei, he received orders from me to inquire the matter from you. Perhaps his speech offended you, or he found out some clues at your home and deduced your intention to revolt. Thus, you killed him to prevent him from divulging the secret. Murangbo laughed and did not reply. Ah. Xuanzu continued, But you killed Ke Baisui, Ke Shiju. Why? Murangbo laughed darkly and said, Ha 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 ha. Senior Abbot is incomparably astute. You rarely step out of your temple main gate, but you know all the matters in Jianghu like the back of your hand. I admire you greatly. I want you to make a guess for this matter. He had yet to finish when two men bellowed simultaneously and pounced towards him. It was Golden Abacus Tui Baichan and his martial nephew Guo Yanzi. Murangbo brushed his sleeve. Both Cui and Guo were thrown several zhang away. They lay down on the floor and remained motionless. Unexpectedly, both of them were hit by his finger within the sleeve. Xuanzu said, Ke Shiju is rich and powerful, his conduct cautious. You recruit soldiers and horses, accumulate wealth and stockpiled grains. You settled on Ke Shiju's property. You want to recruit him and make him take up Murong's Yan banner. Ke Shiju refused. Maybe he even tried to report you to the authorities. So if I remember correctly, this golden abacus Cui Baichan was the guy who was hiding within the Duan family, the Dali palace. Right, and it was only revealed when his martial brother was killed. And everyone thought he was killed by the Murong family. And apparently, he was. Murangbo laughed heartily. He stuck out his thumb and said, Ha 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 ha. Senior Abbot is amazing, amazing. But it is a pity. You are able to see the minute details, but you fail to see the major issues. Elder Brother Xiao and I hid beside your noble temple for so many years. Unexpectedly, you remained completely ignorant about it. Xuanzu shook his head slowly. He sighed and said, It is easy to understand others, but difficult to understand oneself. It is not easy to subdue an enemy, but to subdue the greed, anger, and delusion in one's heart, the three poisons. It is incomparably difficult. Murangbo said, Senior Abbot, based on our former friendship, I will speak forthright and not hide anything from you. What else do you wish to inquire? The the vice chief of the Beggars Clan, Ma Da Yuan, Madame Ma, Clan Elder Shu Chongxiao, Clan Elder Bai Shi Jing, 4 of them, Senior Murong Shiju, did you kill them? Or were they killed by Senior Xiao Shiju? Xiao Feng said, Madame Ma and Bao Shijing conspired together to kill Ma Da Yuan. Elder Shu was killed by both of them as well. Bai Shijing was killed by his own clan member when they tidied up clan affairs. Madame Ma died during the tidying of clan affairs as well. As for the details, Prince Duan from Dali and Beggar Clans' Elder Chu saw and heard everything. If Abbot wishes to know the details, you may find out from both of them later. Xiao Yuanshen took 2 steps forward. He pointed at Murongbo and shouted, Old thief Murong! Previously, I traded palms 3 times with you. I deeply regret not knowing your true colors. I did not kill you. Come over here to receive death. Murongbo gave a long laugh and leapt swiftly up the mountain. Xiao Yuanshen and Xiao Feng shouted, Chase! They chased after him separately from the left and right. The 3 of them had reached the pinnacle of martial arts. In a blink of an eye, they already moved far away. Murongfu shouted, Father! Father! Second. He followed and chased as well. His lightness martial arts was excellent. However, it appeared insignificant when compared to the 3 experts, Murongbo, Xiao Yuanshen, and Xiao Feng, 1 in front and 2 behind. Unexpectedly, the 3 of them were running towards Shaolin Temple. A gray shadow and 2 black shadows. In a split second, they vanished behind the yellow walls and glazed tiles of the Shaolin Temple. Casey, you think they'll both kill each other? Maybe. The crowd was greatly surprised. They pondered. The martial arts of Murongbo and Xiao Yuanshen were on par with each other. In addition, their sons are assisting as well. The Murong family would lose for sure. How come Murongbo did not run down the mountain to escape? On the contrary, he entered the Shaolin Temple. Deng Baichuan, Gong Yigang, Bao Butong, Feng Bo, as well as the 18 Khitan warriors, they wanted to run up the mountain to assist their master. When they were just about to move, Xuanji shouted out, Deploy the formation and stop them! Around 100 Shaolin monks chorused. Row after row, they blocked the road up the mountain. Their staff or blades held horizontally. They prevented anyone from advancing. Xuanji said in a stern voice, Shaolin Temple is a sacred Buddhist site. It is not a place for private fights. Shiju, please do not enter without permission. Deng Baichuan and the rest saw their impressive power. They knew they could not break through. Although they were concerned about their master, they had no choice but to stop. Babu Tong said, Correct. Shaolin Temple is a sacred Buddhist site. All along, he always began with not true. Unexpectedly, he changed to correct. Who knew? Those who knew him were flabbergasted. However, Babu Tong continued, A sacred site for raising illegitimate child. When he finished speaking, several hundred pairs of angry eyes shot towards him. Bao Butong was reckless. He was fully aware that there were many martial arts experts among the Shaolin monks. He was certainly no match for any of the monks from the Xuan generation. He had always been blunt and forthright. He never considered the consequence before speaking. Several hundred Shaolin monks glared at him angrily. He also glared back angrily, his eyes unblinking. Sun Tzu said brightly, Old monk broke a major prohibition and brought disgrace to Shaolin's clear reputation. Junior martial brother Xuanju based on our temple's regulation. What is the punishment? Xuanji said, This, martial brother. Sun Tzu said, A nation has its own laws. A family has its own regulation. Regardless of which sect, school, clan, or temple, they will inevitably produce some unworthy disciples. To maintain a clear reputation, it is not to hope nobody would ever break the rules, but to enforce the law and administer justice. No tolerance to any evil deeds. Law enforcement monk, administer 130 rods to Suju, 100 rods for his own sins, 30 rods for which he willingly accepts in place of his master, Hui Lun. The law enforcement monk looked at Xuanji. Xuanji nodded his head. Suju was already kneeling down to receive punishment. At once, the law enforcement monk lifted his rod. Rod after rod, it landed on Suju's back and buttocks. His flesh lacerated from the punishment. Blood spattered in all directions. Yuanyang felt her heart ache. However, she was fearful of Sun Tzu's strict manner. She didn't dare to plead for leniency. Oh no, poor Suju. With great difficulty, 130 rods were completed. Suju did not use his internal energy to resist. He was in so much pain that he could not stand on his feet. Imagine that, but 100 times. Wait, 130 times. Sun Tzu said, From now on, you are expelled from the monastic order. You are not a Shaolin monk anymore. Suju shed tears and said, Yes. Sun Tzu continued, Sun Tzu committed lascivious acts. He committed the same sin as Suju. His punishment is doubled due to his capacity as Shaolin's abbot. Even if Bao Shiju did not say it, Shaolin's regulation will definitely not let him off lightly. Law enforcement monk punished Sun Tzu heavily with 200 rods. Shaolin's clear reputation is of top priority. There cannot be any leeway. Oh no, 200. When he finished speaking, he crouched down on the ground. Facing the distant Buddha statue at Shaolin's Hall of Great Strength, he lifted his monk's robe, revealing his bare back. And I think he's also not going to use his martial arts, like his energy, to block the blows. So he could be in a lot of trouble, guys. The crowd of heroes looked at each other in dismay. Shaolin's abbot being punished in public. It was truly horrifying. It greatly went against convention. 130 does not equal to 200? No, it's 100. Remember? Suju's punishment was originally 100. He only took 30 in the place of his master, Hui Lun. Xuanji said, Martial brother, you... Sun Tzu said sternly, Shaolin's 100 years of clear reputation. How can it be spoiled by me? Xuanji said tearfully, Yes, law enforcement monk. Administer the rod. 2 law enforcement monks put their palms together, bowed, and said, Abbot, please pardon our offense. At once they stood upright, lifted the punishment rod, and struck towards Sun Tzu's back. Both monks knew that when Sun Tzu was being punished, the most painful feeling was not due to physical pain, but the pain of being humiliated in front of everybody. If they held back while striking, Bystanders would be able to detect it, and it would become a matter for gossip. Then Abbot Swensu would have suffered humiliation for nothing. Thus they did not hold back and struck forcefully. Pa! Pa! Sounds. In a short period of time, Swensu's back and buttocks were riddled with rod scars. Blood spattering on his monk's robe. The crowd of monks listened to the law enforcement monk counting of rods. They lowered their heads and prayed to Buddha in silence. Pudu Temples' Master Dao Ching said abruptly, "Senior Martial Brother Swensu, your esteemed temple values monastic discipline. Abbot receiving punishment in public. I really admire very much. But Senior Martial Brother Swensu is old. Moreover, you refuse to use your internal energy to protect your body. You cannot withstand this 200 rods. I may be presumptuous, but let me make a suggestion. Since we already administered 80 rods, we will take note of the remaining rods and administer another day. It will not violate your esteemed temple's monastic discipline." Okay, is he trying to save him? A large number of people shouted out, "Correct, correct. We wish to ask for this favor as well." Swenju had yet to reply, as Swensu said brightly, "Oh no. Many thanks for everyone's good intention, but our temple's monastic discipline is unshakable, like a mountain. There cannot be any leeway. Law enforcement monk, quickly, employ the rod." The two law enforcement monks already suspended the punishment. When they heard the abbot's firm speech, they had no choice but to carry on hitting. They administered another 40 rods. Swensu could not withstand it anymore. His pair of hands softened, and his face touched the ground. Yurniang cried, "You cannot blame Abbot for this matter. It is all my fault. My father had a serious illness. Great Master Abbot visited us to provide treatment. He saved my father's life. I was grateful towards him, admired him, a woman from a poor family unable to return the favor. Thus, I gave myself to him. I was young, silly, and ignorant. I did not realize my mistake. It is my fault. The remaining rods, let me receive it." While weeping and shouting, she rushed forward to lean on Swensu's body to receive the rod on his behalf. Swensu pointed with his left finger. With a light chi sound, he sealed her acupoint. He smiled and said, "Silly woman, you are not a Buddhist monk. You did not break any prohibition. Where is the sin?" Yurniang lay down on the ground, unable to move, tears streaming down her eyes. Swensu shouted, "Administer the rod." With great difficulty, 200 rods were completed. Blood flowed all over the ground. Swensu forcefully summoned a mouthful of inner energy to protect his heart, so as to avoid fainting due to the pain. The two law enforcement monks held the rod vertically and said to Swenju, "Reporting to head monk, Abbot Swensu's punishment is done." Swenji nodded his head. He didn't know what to say. Swensu struggled to stand up. He said, "Swensu violated a major Buddhist prohibition. He cannot be the abbot of Shaolin anymore. From now on, the abbot position will be held by the head monk of Discipline Courtyard, Swenji." Swenji stepped forward. He put his palms together and bowed, tears streaming down his eyes. He said, "I receive the decree." Swensu directed his finger at Yu Erniang and pointed. He wanted to undo her sealed acupoint. Unexpectedly, it was difficult to condense internal energy due to his injury. His finger had no effect at all. Suju saw the situation. He quickly rushed forward to undo his mother's acupoint. Swensu beckoned both of them over. Yurniang and Suju moved beside him. Suju was in turmoil. He did not know if he should address him as father or abbot. Rude noise. That's pretty funny. Xuanzu stretched out his hands. Right hand holding on to Yu Erniang's wrist, left hand holding on to Suju. He said, "For the past 20 years, every day, every night, my heart worried for both mother and child. I committed a huge sin, but I don't dare to confess to my fellow brothers. Today, I finally freed myself. Henceforth, I have no fear or worry. My heart is at peace." He said a Buddhist verse, "One times on earth, where is desire and affection, worries and hardship, to free oneself is happiness." When he finished speaking, he closed his eyes slowly. His face revealed a peaceful smile. Yu Erniang and Suju didn't dare to move. They were unsure if he had more to say. However, they felt his palm getting colder. Yu Erniang had a huge shock. She stretched out her hand to check his breath. Unexpectedly, he died. She shouted, You, how can you abandon me and leave?" Suddenly, she leapt up in the air, her body falling down from midair. With a pong sound, she landed beside Xuanzu's feet. She twitched a few times and stopped moving altogether. Well, okay. Why? No! Suju shouted, Mother, you must not." He stretched out his hands to support his mother. However, he saw a dagger stuck at the pit of her stomach. Only the handle was exposed. Most likely, she died as well. Suju sealed the acupoints around her wound quickly. At the same time, he channeled his internal energy into Xuanzu's body. He was flustered. He desired to bring both of them back to life simultaneously. Xue Muhua rushed forward to assist. However, he saw their heart and breathing had ceased. There was no hope. He advised, "My condolences to Marshal Uncle. You cannot save these two seniors anymore." She just had her son back? I know! At least live for your son, Jesus. Well. That's for one. That's for a child stealer lady. The baby stealer. The baby thief. Suju refused to give up. He channeled his pure energy of northern darkness for a long time, but where was the least bit of activity from them? Suju's sorrow burst forth. He could not help but sob loudly. Poor guy. For the past 24 years, he thought he was an orphan with no father and mother. He never got to experience the slightest bit of family bliss. Today, he finally found his biological parents. However, the reunion was less than an hour, and both of them died miserably. He is truly an orphan now. Oh. Initially, when the crowd heard that Suju's father was Shaolin's abbot, Xuanzu, everyone felt that he did not abide by monastic regulation. They despised him greatly. But later, when he allowed himself to be punished in public to preserve Shaolin's clear reputation, his bravery was truly extraordinary. Such heavy punishments should be enough to make up for his moment of folly. Unexpectedly, when he completed the corporal punishment and handed over the abbot's position, he immediately severed his own meridian channels. Originally, his death would have ended all troubles. He would have sought death early and not reveal his lascivious act. Avoid the humiliation of 200 rods. However, he refused to cover his past sin and insisted on suffering the punishment of the rods for the sake of protecting Shaolin's clear reputation. It was truly the conduct of a great hero and a great man. The crowd respected his character and conduct. A lot of people walked forward and bowed at his corpse in respect. Oh, so he didn't die from the rods. He actually committed suicide. Okay. Okay. What the fuck? You didn't need to do that. Now your son is just like, he is devastated. How would people know? I don't think people would know, but he did himself. But still. The divine croc of the southern sea said, "Second sister, you are dead now. Yue Laoshan won't fight with you anymore for the ranking. You can simply be number 2. Oh, that's sweet. He stepped forward and kowtowed at Ye Erniang's corpse. For the past few years, he would do anything to fight for supremacy with Ye Erniang. He hoped to surpass her in martial arts and occupy the position of number 2 evil under heaven. Unexpectedly, he willingly ceded the position to her. It was truly not easy for him, but because he was devastated by her death, and he also admired her courage to sacrifice her life for a noble cause." Oh, okay. We don't need to read that, right? Oh my god, that's a lot. Anyways. Oh my god! What a chapter! Jesus Christ. So many reveals. And it's still ongoing, okay? Xiaofeng is still chasing after his father, who's still chasing after Murongbo. It's not over yet. Completely avoidable? Yeah. I mean, they didn't have to die. Poor Suju. Yeah. It would have been better if he didn't know his parents at all, right? Yeah, but now that he knew, now that he just had a whiff, a little sense of having parents, it was taken away. Oh god. Poor guy. All right. I think I need some sake. What do you guys think? How was this chapter? Now he gets to mourn. Oh. Hey guys, cheers to Suju's crippling depression. One of the best chapters in all time. Oh, so much happened, guys. So much. Why is everyone so dramatic? Better to have parents and lost than to never have parents at all. Is that true, though? Is that true? I'm not so sure. Didn't Yu Ernyang said that someone used her to seduce the abbot? Maybe that was Murong Bo's plan all along? You think so? Okay, who said that? Did she say that? So you're saying that Yu Ernyang said that someone used her to seduce the abbot. Okay. Interesting. She did mention it in the beginning. Gotcha. I see. Hmm. Hmm. If you never had parents at all, you don't exist. That is a good point. The Murongs are the real villains. True. Truth. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Murong Bo is actually more evil than the number one evil under heaven. Um, damn. I need to decompress. That was quite the chapter, guys. Quite the chapter. Uh, and there's more. Okay. There's more. Oh, now that the Murong father and son they're reunited, what can they do now? They're probably super powerful, right? They can cause all kinds of damage. Unless they get killed by Xiao Feng and his dead. Mu Rongfu is also a victim of his father. He's been clueless. Yeah, Bo is the mastermind. Yeah, but with Bo and Mu Rongfu together, right, he can probably cause great damage. A song to decompress? No, no. Can't work around it like that, okay? The rules are the rules. Did you not see? Did you guys not see what happened? Rules are meant to be followed, okay? Even if you die for it. All right, guys. That was good. That was good. Well, I think we're done. Tune in next time. We'll see what happens. Okay. It's still going. The reveals are still going. Or wait. That's a lot of reveals, right? What other things? What other mysteries are there? Anyways, I will see you guys next time. All right. I love you. Thanks for coming. I'll see you all next time. Bye.